What just happened in Texas is already affecting millions of Americans, but could likely end up costing the whole country millions or billions of dollars and is a sign of things to come for the rest of 2024 and beyond. Let's jump right in. I'll give you the details, and well, you can let me know your thoughts here in the comments. If you've seen my video from the other day, which had a lot of controversial comments on one side or the other, I'll link you to that here down below in the comments or later in this video. Are you seeing your climate change? Are you seeing different type of weather than you were seeing, say, 20 years ago? That is a big question for a lot of people. But this major hurricane that just smashed into Texas, which was a category 5 and smashed into the Caribbean first and really hit Texas after it was already very diminished, is a major sign of things to come. And the insurance losses are already starting to pile up, and insurance companies are likely going to use this to raise home insurance across the country, which is going to affect homeowners and renters. Hurricane Beryl, which just hit Texas, already has over 2 million people without power. 2 million. And it just hit. This was the earliest Category 5 hurricane ever, and the earliest Category 4 hurricane ever in June when it started in the Caribbean. And experts are saying why this is an early sign of a particularly dangerous hurricane season and why this is likely to raise insurance premiums for car insurance and home insurance even more than they have. Take a look at the destruction it just caused in Texas. You can see here many feet of water here hitting parts of Texas, 2+ million people without power. And there was actually several different places of mandatory evacuations and people having to be rescued. And remember that this hurricane wasn't even a direct hit to the United States. It was a direct hit to several islands in the Caribbean as a Category 5, which got absolutely just destroyed. And it was the earliest Category 5 hurricane in this season ever on record. All this is going to mean a lot of destruction and a lot of money. And well, this comes here as the average homeowner insurance is already $2,377 annually across the country, which is about $200 a month, $198 a month. $2,400 a month would be $200 a month. They were saying before this hurricane season that homeowners were expecting to only see a 6% uptick in annual premiums by the end of the year. That was on top of a 20% increase over the 2 years prior, and the largest increase that I can remember any time here in recent history, a 23% increase over the last year since January 2023. Homeowners insurance rates have risen dramatically according to an analysis by Bankrate. This also will affect car insurance as well because, well, you're just seeing cars literally being flooded. In addition to this, higher construction costs have made repairs more costly since 2020. Residential building costs have risen almost 28%, and labor costs have jumped nearly 12%. And I don't know if insurance companies are going to use this as an excuse, but albeit a legitimate one, as insurance companies have reported massive losses. That's right. Yeah, so if you think these insurance companies are just rolling around in the dough, It's not really the case because these losses are actually hitting them hard. And another bad insurance or flooding season, hurricane season is going to hit everybody hard. State Farm, one of the largest insurance companies, reports a monster loss for last year, which, obviously this year hasn't, finished yet. So the last year that's finished, they reported an underwriting loss of $14.1 billion. Yikes. So that was on revenue of $87 billion. That's how much was earned, basically revenue, but they had a loss of $14 billion. So it doesn't matter how much policies you write, if you're losing money of $14 billion, that's an absolute catastrophe, for lack of a better word, compared to a $13.2 billion loss the year before. So between 2022 and 2023, they had a $13 billion and a $14 billion loss. That's over a $27 billion loss in 2 years, 27 plus billion-dollar loss just for one company. So honestly, let's just take a realistic point of view here. Not that I'm backing insurance companies, because trust me, nobody likes their rates going up. I don't, you don't, anybody. But if a company's losing $27 billion and it's not just State Farm, in 2023, the entire insurance industry recorded a net underwriting loss of $21.6 billion, followed by a $25.8 billion loss in the prior year. I just looked it up. State Farm is the largest company in the US. So they have 18.4% share of the market in the US, followed by Allstate in second with 9%, and Liberty Mutual in third with 7.3%, and USAA with 6.6%, and Farmers with 6.2%. So the entire industry has had $25.8 billion in loss the year before and $21.6 billion in loss last year. That's almost $50 billion in losses in the last 2 years. And things aren't looking any better. I mean, now we have these massive Category 5 insurances or hurricanes already hitting earlier in the season than they ever have before. I mean, could you say that the US got, or Texas and the US got lucky because it got deflected by the Caribbean? God bless them, because they took the full brunt of it. I mean, and think about those poor souls. And Texas has 2 million people without power already, massive flooding. And think about what is yet to come. And they're saying that a lot of this is because of rising sea temperatures. Don't forget all the other things that are going on here: massive wildfires, hotter summers, hotter winters. You guys can let me know your thoughts here in the comments, but I will keep you up to date here. This is a major problem that a lot of people are going to have to pay for, with rising insurance policies that are already super expensive. Make sure to subscribe down below, click the bell icon so you don't miss out on new videos. I will keep you up to date with everything going on here in our country on a daily basis. Click here to see the first part of this video and how millions of Americans were told to evacuate and what happened next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.